life is so tall in Toy Town. I take my car and I drive afar in Toy Town. There's Mr. Plod and a dog called Bumpy. Hello, Mr. Plod. Get down, Bumpy. I pass the Ark, the Noahs live there, and so does the elephant, and so does the bear. Now that they say it's market day in Toy Town. If you have the fare, I'll take you there through Toy Town. There's Biggers who lives by the old oak tree, and we have adventures, Biggers and me. Why don't you come and join in the fun? Just follow me, 'cause it's only begun. I'm Noddy. I'm Noddy.
Noddy felt tremendously happy. He helped himself to an extra special breakfast. Toast and egg and cornflakes and milk. There wasn't any. Luckily, at that moment, the milkman came to the door. 1 pint or 2? He asked. I'd rather have 2, Noddy said. I'm going to eat an enormous breakfast. Oh, he added, and his face fell. What's wrong, Noddy? I can't have 2. In fact, I can't have any. I've run out of money. Not to worry. I can wait, Mr. Milkman said, and set off in the direction of Mr. and Mrs. Bear. I know how I can earn some money, Noddy thought as he cleaned and polished his car. I could take people to and from the station, and I could charge them, just like a taxi driver. Yeah, that's what I'll be. I'll be Toy Town's taxi driver. The pink toy cat was waiting in the road. Are you a taxi driver? Yes, that is almost, Noddy said in a rush. I've just become one. I want to go to Toy Town Station, please. How much do you charge? 5 pence all the way there and back, Noddy said excitedly. I only want to go there. I don't want to come back. How much is it to go there and not back? Oh, I don't know. Noddy didn't know what to charge. You don't know? No, Noddy said miserably, nodding his head. I wish you wouldn't say no and nod your head. It's very muddling. Mr. Tubby Bear looked out of his house. Mr. Tubby Bear, the toy cat said, can you tell Noddy how much to charge if he takes me to the station and not back? Well, exactly the same as if you go back and not to the station, Mr. Tubby Bear said. How can I go back if I haven't been there? Noddy felt more muddled than ever. Come on, I'm going to miss my train. The pink toy cat climbed into the car with some difficulty. She was large and the car was small. And then she left her tail hanging out over the side. Put your tail inside, toy cat. Noddy was so startled, he slammed his foot on the brake. The car stopped with a jerk and the pink toy cat flew through the air and landed in the road. Oh, is that how you drive a car? She asked angrily. I'm sorry. Being a taxi driver wasn't going to be easy after all. Hey, toy cat, Mr. Bear shouted again. Put your tail inside. I do wish people would mind their own business, the toy cat said snootily. It's my tail, and I can do what I like with it. Sally Sly waved them past. Ooh, she said. Mind how you go. The train was just coming in as they arrived. Oh, the toy cat wailed. My tail's gone. Noddy stared at her in horror. The train driver blew his whistle. Quick, you miss it. He pushed her into the nearest carriage. I'll look for your tail, but please, will you pay me before you go? Certainly not, said the pink toy cat. You can pay me 5 pence for a new tail. 5 pence, that's what you owe me. 5 pence. What a rude cat. A deep voice boomed. Will you drive me to Mr. Tubby's? I'm his brother. Mr. Bear was even bigger than the pink toy cat. He had great difficulty getting into the car. You need a lorry, Noddy muttered. Hey, my hat's blown off. Stop, stop. You'll have to go and find it, said Mr. Tubby Bear's brother. I'm stuck. The hat was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere at all. Oh, I'm in trouble again, Noddy thought. The bear was very cross. Why you have such a silly small car? He growled at Noddy. Noddy was furious. My car is not silly and it's not small. It's you who's too fat. Please, sir, will you pay my fare? He asked. Pay a fare? Pay a fare when you've lost my brand new hat? Certainly not. You can pay me what it cost. 5 new pence. And Mr. Bear stalked off into Mr. and Mrs. Tubby Bear's house. Noddy was utterly downcast. His career as a taxi driver was distinctly unsuccessful. I'll have one more go, he thought. If I can get a rich client, I can earn enough for a new tail, a new hat, and a bit over for myself. His luck had turned, for there, by the bus stop, was Angela Goldenhair from Four Chimneys House. Noddy nodded at her happily and politely opened the door. Where do you want to go, ma'am? To the station. Hurry up, please, Noddy. I'm late. Where can I put my bag? Oh, I'll soon sort that out for you. But the bag was too large to fit in the front, so he balanced it carefully on the back. It'll be quite safe there. Better than in a luggage rack. Hurry up now, the doll said. I don't want to miss my train. So Noddy hurried up. He drove as fast as the car would go. There we are, madam. I'll just get you your case, and Oh, the case had gone. How careless of you, the doll said crossly. You'll have to go back and find it and put it on the next train. And I'm not paying you your fare. That'll teach you to be so careless. And she marched off. Noddy tried to cheer himself up as he drove to Big Ear's house. But there really wasn't very much to be cheerful about. Instead of earning money, he owed it. I'll tell you what we'll do, Big Ear said. We'll drive back to Toy Town. Someone must have found the pink toy cat's tail and Mr. Bear's hat and even Angela Goldenhair's case. So that's what they did. They drove into Toy Town, into the market square, and right into the middle of Toy Town Fair. Goodness, Noddy said. Oh, I've forgotten about the fair. Now we won't find anything. Yes, that might be a bit of a problem, Big Ear said. The fair was in full swing. First they went to the hoopla stall. Noddy looked at the prizes. 2 china cats, teapots, rag dolls, and a beautiful yellow sponge for cleaning the car. I wish I could have a go, he said sadly. I would so love that big yellow sponge for cleaning my car. There was a big notice up. 1 penny for 3 hoops. Come along, ladies and gentlemen, come along, come along. 1 penny for 3 hoops. Try your luck, try your luck. Here's have a go. Go on, have a go, have a go. Never know your luck. Might win that sponge you want. The skittle, who was running the stall, held 3 hoops out to Noddy. Noddy nodded miserably. I'm afraid I can't. Then why do you nod your head? You toys are all the same, wasting my time. I have to make a living, you know, I have to make a living. So do I, Noddy said miserably to himself. Only I don't seem to be very good at it. Come on. Big Ears took him by the arm and they walked on. I've got 1 penny. Let's have a go on the roundabout. That'll cheer us up. Useless, these toys, the skittle said. And cheer them up it did. Noddy jumped on the back of a white horse and Big Ears clambered onto a grey elephant. The ride begins. Monsieur Polly was having a go. So was Tessie. Isn't this fun? She cried. The merry-go-round went round and round, round and round. Oh, I'm in a steeplechase, Noddy shouted. Come on, come on, come on! And he kicked the horse to go faster, just as though it was a real one. Slowly, very slowly, the roundabout stopped. And Big Ears and Noddy climbed down. They were so dizzy that the market square and all the toys in it were going round and round. Suddenly, Noddy clutched Big Ear's arm. "Look!" he shouted. He had seen Gobbo emerging from the back of the hoopla stall, clutching a teapot, a box of chocolates, and the big yellow sponge. "Stop! Oh, no, you don't!" Noddy shouted, and before the goblin realized what was happening, he'd been pinned down by Big Ears and Noddy.
Has there been a disturbance of the peace?
Mr. Plod was on the spot, notebook in hand.
There has, the goblin screamed. I've just caught that nodding man and his friend stealing the Hoopla prizes. Just stopping them I was.
"You're lying!" Noddy was beside himself. "He's the thief. We caught him, Big Ears and I."
It was them,
the goblin screamed.
How dare you?
Big Ears said.
Be quiet,
Mr. Plod said.
What are my prizes doing here?
No one had noticed the arrival of the skittle.
Oh, it's you, is it?
He said, looking at Noddy.
Thought you'd be up to no good, wanting my sponge when you hadn't even got the money enough to have a go with the hoops. I know your sort. Told you, didn't I?
Said the goblin smugly to Mr. Plod.
Well, I don't know,
Mr. Plod said.
Well, I do.
It was Noddy's friend, the milkman.
How dare you accuse Noddy of stealing? That goblin is a liar. I saw the whole thing. It's the goblin who's the thief. I'm scarpering.
After him, Mr. Plod shouted, puffing and panting as he tried to chase the thieving goblin. The skittle was very apologetic and gave Big Ears and Noddy a free turn. Big Ears won a box of chocolates. And Noddy won the big yellow sponge. Noddy and Big Ears wandered round the fair. "I wish we had some money."
Look at those ice creams. And look at that sailor doll. He's not wearing a sailor hat. He's wearing Mr. Bear's topper.
Before the sailor doll knew what had happened, Big Ears had whipped it off him.
Stick to your own hats in future.
He growled at the sailor doll, who was so frightened, he ran away.
Hey, where did you get that bag?
Noddy ran up to a white clockwork mouse.
It's Angela Goldenhair's.
The clockwork mouse fled as fast as his machinery would let it. Things were looking up. They walked on further to a stall where Sally Sly was buying oranges. Round her neck, she had a bushy pink fur.
"That,"
said Noddy,
"is the toy cat's pink tail."
"Leave this to me," Big Ear said. "Next time you find something that doesn't belong to you, kindly take it to the Lost Property Office." Sally Sly went very red in the face and walked away with as much dignity as she could muster.
"That's that, then,"
said Big Ears.
"One hat, one tail, and one bag."
"We've got your tail," they shouted to the pink toy cat. "Well, that's a relief. I felt most peculiar without it." The cat paid Noddy his fare. Then they returned Mr. Bear's hat.
"It wasn't Noddy's fault,"
Big Ear said.
"Shouldn't have driven so fast. But, I'll pay up this time."
Then they returned Angela's red bag. Noddy felt very happy and very rich. "Let's go out to supper, Big Ears, as a special treat. I've never been out to supper before."
"Yes, let's."
And that's what they did. They sat down in the market square and ate a huge supper. "Everything's going to be all right now," Noddy said.
Small, but I feel so tall in Toy Town. I take my car and I drive afar in Toy Town. There's Mr. Plod and a dog called Bumpy. Hello, Mr. Plod. Get down, Bumpy. I pass the Ark, the Noahs live there, and so does the elephant, and so does the bear. Noddy say it's market day in Toy Town. If you have the fare, I'll take you there from Toy Town. There's as big as who lives by the old oak tree. And we have adventures big as in me. Why don't you come and join in the fun? Just follow me, 'cause it's only begun. I'm Noddy. I'm Noddy.
Morning, Noddy.
The milkman said.
How many pints?
One, please. The postman was coming up the path. Is that a letter for me? Noddy didn't often get letters. Yes, the postman said sadly. A letter for you. He paused. But there wasn't a letter for me. No one ever writes to me.
Well, perhaps Noddy will write to you.
The milkman said sympathetically. I'd love to write to you, Noddy said. But I can't write. Nor read? The postman asked hopefully. No. Then you can't read a letter. Can I open it? You already have. I don't often get the chance to read letters. I only deliver them. Day in, day out, I deliver them, but I never get the chance to read one.
Well, get on with it then.
The milkman said.
I've got work to do.
But the postman wasn't going to be hurried. Oh, what a treat, what a treat, he kept muttering. At last he was ready. Dear Noddy, he read out. Please, he paused. Please, I can't make this out.
Here, give it to me.
No. And please, he continued, come at 9:30 this morning. 9:30? He looked at his watch. You better hurry up, Noddy. Couldn't you finish the letter? Noddy asked politely. I want to correct...
That isn't correct,
the milkman said.
it's collect.
Some parcels. You've got to collect some parcels, Noddy, in your car. Who from? Noddy asked. Signed, Mrs. Noah, the Ark, Toy Town.
Is that all?
The milkman said.
Wasn't worth waiting for.
He picked up his pints of milk.
Noddy,
He said,
you better learn to read and write. You'd better go to school.
go to school? Oh, dear, I'd better go to Mrs. Noah first. Noddy drove slowly through Toy Town, through the market square. Mr. Plod was busy directing the traffic. Oh, dear, what does he mean? Now, does he mean left or right? Noddy thought that Mr. Plod had signalled him to the right. Mr. Plod had signalled him to the left.
You can't go that way,
He roared.
if you can't tell left from right, you'd better go to school.
That's the second time today I've been told to go to school, Noddy thought. Noddy's car was so full of parcels, he hardly had room to drive. Red for the toy shop, green for the station, yellow for the market. Mrs. Noah had marked the parcels very carefully.
Noddy, Noddy,
Said a voice. Big Ears, how nice to see you. I'm sorry I can't give you a lift. I haven't got any room.
never mind about the room. Mr. Plod is after you. Where are you going with those parcels?
Red for the station, green for the post office. Oh, no, dear Big Ears, I've got all mixed up again.
Well, can't you read what Mrs. Noah has written on the parcels?
No, Noddy said.
In that case, said Big Ears, there's only one place for you, and that's school. I'll help you this once, but you'll have to read and write and learn to tell right from left and add up.
I'll help you, Big Ear said. Follow me.
So that's what Noddy did. First they went to the toy shop and delivered the parcel marked red, and they drove to the market and delivered the parcel marked yellow. P.C. Plod was still in the market square, directing Toy Town traffic.
I've been looking for you, he roared at Noddy. You committed a traffic offence. Well, it wasn't his fault,
Big Ears pleaded.
he can't tell left from right. Then he better go to school.
Mr. Plod said sternly.
That's just what he's going to do. Well, I'll let you off this once, but mind you learn properly, he roared.
I'm rather frightened, Noddy said as they drove along.
No need for that. Stop. Oh, stop. Please stop.
It was Mr. Wobbly Man.
Noddy, Noddy, can you help? The clockwork clown has broken his clockwork.
I'm going to school, Noddy said.
There he is.
Mr. Wobbly Man pointed down the street. The clockwork clown was walking towards them, upside down.
Noddy, please take me to the doctor,
He said.
I can't stand the right way up.
In you get, then, Noddy said. And the clown tried to climb in. But it was difficult, upside down.
You'll have to go slowly.
He said.
My clockwork won't stand speed at the moment.
Take care.
Mr. Wobbly Man waved farewell.
Get better soon.
The clown was most grateful to Big Ears and Noddy.
How much is that?
He asked. 5 pence, please.
If I give you 10 pence, you can give me 5 pence change?
I don't know, Noddy said. I can't count.
You can't count?
The clockwork clown asked in amazement.
Then you better go to school.
That's where I was going, Noddy sighed.
Here,
Big Ear said.
I'll count the pennies out for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you, Noddy said, and stretched out his hand to take 10 pence from the clockwork clown.
Whoop! Now you haven't got any pence in your hands,
Big Ears grumbled.
We have.
Oh, you would. It was the Skittle children. They were running all over the road, looking for the clockwork clown's 5 pence. And the clockwork clown was running as fast as his hands would let him. So was Big Ears, and so was Noddy. The right way up, of course.
Ha, 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 hey, 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 I've got a penny for my tea. No, you haven't.
The clockwork clown made a grab at one of the Skittles. And then to Noddy's and Big Ear's amazement, he rolled over and stood on his feet.
Let's put my clockwork back in place. Thank you, Noddy. Thank you, Big Ears. And as for you, Skittle children, you might as well keep my 5 pence.
And the clockwork clown somersaulted away. The schoolmistress was a plump little doll with a bonnet and shawl, and she wore big glasses on her nose. Noddy felt rather scared of her, but he wasn't going to show it, not for anything.
Ah, Noddy, isn't it?
She said.
I'm Miss Hap. Oh.
A pile of books came tumbling off her desk.
Dear, dear.
She said.
All these little accidents. I keep having them all the time. Is that why you're called Miss Hap?
Noddy asked.
Miss Hap? Miss Hap? Dear, dear. I hadn't thought of that. Are you sure you need to come to school?
I can't read or write or count, Noddy said.
We'll soon put that right. Now then. Noddy, do you know the twice times tables?
No, Noddy said.
Do you know any table?
Only the one at home, Noddy said. I eat my breakfast off it. Everyone laughed, but Noddy didn't. Noddy didn't know what there was to laugh at.
Be quiet, Miss Hap shouted. I won't tolerate disorder in my class. You're to behave yourselves, all of you.
Noddy, the twice times table is 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times... Mishap, another mishap, the children shouted. A beautiful vase with flowers was lying broken at Miss Hap's feet. Is school always like this? Noddy asked. We'll sing a song now, Miss Hap said. We'll sing Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill. I don't know a song about Jack and Jill, but I can sing a song myself, Noddy said.
Bet you can't even write the letter N.
One of the monkeys shouted. Bet I can, Noddy shouted back, though he knew he couldn't. In that case, Miss Hap ordered, you'd better come up here and prove it. So Noddy walked up to the blackboard, and Miss Hap wrote out for him the letter N. And Noddy copied it. But it didn't look quite right. Hey, it's mirror writing, Miss Hap said.
It's inside out,
The monkey shouted.
That's not what an N looks like. Do it again.
And Noddy did. And this time, it looked just like Miss Hap's.
Well done, Noddy. Very good. You see, I can do it.
It was the end of term. Lots of toys were at the school. Even Big Ears had come to see how Noddy was getting on. Miss Hap sat behind a pile of books. She picked one up. The Clockwork Mouse, she called out. A prize for being a fast runner. Everyone clapped. Tubby Bear, for learning his alphabet. Again, everyone clapped. Noddy hardest of all. He liked Tubby Bear. I'm afraid I'm not going to get a prize, he thought. Then he saw Miss Hap looking at him. Noddy, she said. Don't you want your prize? I've been calling your name. Oh, Noddy said. It seemed a long way to her desk.
That's for learning to read and write and add up,
she said, and gave him his book. All the toys cheered. Noddy had never been so proud. And Big Ears flung his arms round Noddy. You are clever, he said.
It's been a lovely day, now we have to go away. But we'll see you very soon in Toy Town. We'll be back another day, come and join us so we may see you very soon again in Toy Town. It's been a lovely day, now we have to go away. But we'll see